cap and trade. We have been probably, I say we, the Windsor-Essex Chamber, is probably one of the most aggressive chambers in Ontario with respect to cap and trade. With our partnership in Leamington, I'll bring it back with Wendy. Where's Wendy? There you go. So we passed a resolution, last year at our chamber AGM saying, you know what, we need to sort of defer cap and trade as we find out what's going to happen in the U.S. We're not sure the impacts of it. It could be really substantial. Electricity costs are up 400%. Is this really necessary? Is it going to do anything? So as the year went on, we finally got some numbers in from the greenhouse. We've got some great greenhouse members here in our chamber. And to Rick's point, the numbers were huge. Some of these farms are going to have $250,000 of increase. So we had a little news conference at the Windsor-Essex Chamber with Leamington, our partners, with Marchand, with Jim DeMena, and a number of greenhouse owners in Windsor-Essex. We led the way and we called for the suspension of cap and trade because it's not good for Windsor-Essex, it's not good for greenhouses. And for those who don't know, we probably have the cleanest grid in the world. We don't use coal. So what's going to happen? Our jobs are going to be exported to places like Ohio, where electricity costs are 1/3 the cost or lower. They don't have cap and trade. So they're not being punished for using a coal plant, which they do. 50% of their power is coal. So the end result of cap and trade, and I asked the Premier this directly, I shared the clip with Rick earlier. The end result of cap and trade is to send jobs and investment from Windsor-Essex to go plug into a coal plant in Ohio. Does that make sense to anyone? And in addition to that, we pay California, according to the Auditor General, we're going to be paying California $2 billion for the privilege of doing that. So we've been probably the most aggressive hawks against cap and trade. We've called for it to be suspended, and we were delighted to hear, obviously Patrick Brown say in his comments that he would dismantle cap and trade. That's something that the greenhouse industry and our agriculture sector and a lot of our small business owners, we have taken the brunt of a lot of these policies. Electricity costs up 400%. We've had cap and trade now costing tens of thousands of dollars, and other proposed upgrades to our wage structure. So our view is that we have to be aggressive in fighting these cost increases because the brunt of these cost increases are for agriculture and small business. So the Windsor-Essex Chamber and our partners in Leamington, we're going to be fighting for you to make sure that these costs are restrained. And to Rick's point earlier, he talked about what is, there's this conversation that the federal government, of course, is going to legislate some sort of national carbon tax. So at our Canadian Chamber AGM, what the Windsor-Essex Chamber and some other chambers are proposing we do is, you know what? The U.S. is out. They've withdrawn. They're not involved in cap and trade. There's only just, does anybody know how many U.S. states are involved in cap and trade? One. Yeah, California. So we're basically doing cap and trade with one state. And after last week, it surprised that very many more who are our competitor states are actually going to do cap and trade. And we should be, just to back up on that point, we should be rewarding, we should be encouraging people to use the clean grid here in Ontario. We should be using that as an investment attraction to come to Ontario to use the clean grid, not to give the Ohio State Economic Development Agencies an excuse to come to Ontario and take our jobs and put them in Ohio where they can plug into a coal plant. So, I know I get worked up on that. So, our next thing we're going to do is we're talking about right now in our Canadian Chamber AGM. Why not let the provinces decide? Why not the provinces say, hey, maybe we want a carbon tax, maybe we want cap and trade, maybe we want to do nothing, maybe we want to do our own thing. So stay tuned on that. So we're going to look at this as a national conversation. Why can't Ontario have their own plan? Why can't Quebec have their own plan? Some of the prairie provinces don't want to do it. That's up to them. They're on the ground. If they know what their local economy is, They know who their trade competitors are. I've said we've got, I mean this sincerely, the best business community in Windsor-Essex in the country. If only they would be allowed to compete with the same set of rules that everybody else has. And whether it's steel or auto or agriculture, we don't have the same set of rules. We want regulatory alignment with the same rules that you have, that Ohio has, and that others have. So that's what we're going to be doing on your behalf over the coming weeks and months. And I'm happy to take any questions.